All right, hi everybody. My name is Brian Novell. I'm the head of BD at Lagrange, and Lagrange is a zero knowledge company. So what that really means is that we generate zero knowledge proofs wherever they're most useful. And these days, of course, with the rise of AI, our ZK proofs are very applicable to AI and specifically proving that that AI is working correctly, both in terms of the models as well as the outputs therefrom, and then taking those outputs and having them be used in real-world scenarios and applications with the confidence that it can be trusted through the verification provided by Lagrange. Yeah, well, this is an amazing event. It feels like the entire industry is here, but the industry is much bigger now than just Web3. And I think that really where Web3 is important in terms of its impact is on the real world. It's taking the principles of Web3, cryptography, privacy, and others, and actually applying them to things that matter. And that can be in the areas of finance, health and human safety, enterprise solutions, governmental and institutional use cases, and really taking what makes Web3 special and unique and taking those and actually making them available in the real world. So this is a very exciting event for us as well as for the entire industry. So really what we're talking about here is as models evolve and frontier models emerge, what really is important about what we do is we provide the verification for AI. So as AI becomes more and more pervasive in our society, and we collectively as a world figure out where it works and where it fits, quite frankly, none of that really matters if it cannot be trusted. That's really the whole point. And in order for this to be adopted, especially in the areas of enterprise and governments and institutions, we collectively need 100% confidence in the verification of that innovation. And that's exactly where Lagrange is. We are on the bleeding edge frontier in terms of being the first ZKML to prove first a full LLM inference with respect to GPT-2. And as we announced the other day at the Google Cloud event, the first ZKML to prove Gemma 3. And this is very important because what Gemma 3 does overall is really put the power of AI in a very applicable use case in smaller devices, thereby making AI available in more mass scenarios and more realistic use cases. But again, none of this really matters if it can't be trusted. And that's exactly the layer that Lagrange provides over the top of AI. Now, what this means for us is that we, with our team of world-class researchers and engineers, we are really leading the charge in making sure that with each new model that comes out, keeping pace with them and making sure that that innovation that goes on with AI can be trusted through verification by Lagrange. I think we are still at the very nascent stages of it. And right now we're seeing AI do certain things for us, like a lot of chatbot features helping us with things like online shopping and relatively low stakes rudimentary tasks. And I think one of the big reasons why we have not seen AI really find its home in the bigger, more important use cases is that black box lack of trust that is inherent to it without something like Lagrange's solutions. So that's exactly what we're here to do, is to provide that confidence where these use cases can be done with things that matter. When we think about AI overall, there's an entire scope of use cases. And on one end, they range from very simple things like figuring out what we might want to have for dinner one night if we have 8 random ingredients in our fridge, all the way to absolutely critical use cases such as AI coordination of drone movements for military operations and perhaps even things like missile strikes, moving actual finance with real value, things like health and human safety in the areas of pharmaceuticals and medicine. And on top of all of those industries are regulations. So the governments and the institutions and the regulators, in order to be able to trust those AI outputs, need something more than just the AI saying, here are the outputs, here are the results. And again, that's exactly where Lagrange fits in. We provide the cryptographic, mathematical, definitive certainty of those outputs, thereby making them usable and trustworthy in all of those important use cases that actually matter. So really, that's what we're going to start to see over time, is the ability for these outputs to be trusted in those critical scenarios as opposed to the more de minimis rudimentary ones. Absolutely. We want to build with you. And my job is really one of the best jobs I can possibly think of in crypto, because what I get to do is work with the best teams out there in the world, both with Web3 and in Web2 and beyond. And really the trigger for us is, if you are using AI in any way, whether it's for your own internal purposes and workflows and helping you be more efficient as a team, and or if you're putting AI into things that your consumers, your users, your community, your constituents will be using, in either scenario, we all need to be able to trust AI. That is of the utmost importance. So the message to everybody who might be looking at this video is, if you're a builder, if you're a developer, if you're a project, a company, or a member of governmental institutions, and you're using AI in any way, we want to be there to build with you and to help provide that layer of definitive trust and security to whatever you're using AI for.